Okay, let's roll our segue for my culture news. And it is... reminds me of a song.
Whoa, that's easy enough.
This culture news is going to be a little longer. It's too bad you didn't roll limerick on this one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be talking about Francisco Franco. For some reason, in Spain, there's a foundation for him, and it's still going strong. The government is working its best in order to get rid of this continued fascist culture in Spain. This is on El País by Julio Núñez. The Ministry of Culture has taken the first step towards dissolving the Francisco Franco Foundation, sending the organization a notice of commencement of dissolution before proceedings this 31st of October. This resolution is the preliminary step before the ministry, through the state attorney's office, submits the same documents to the judicial authorities to initiate the legal process of dissolution. The document, to which El País has access, argues that the foundation's aims violates democratic memory law. This is because it clashes with legislation on foundations, as it does not pursue aims of general interest and carries out activities contrary to that interest. That's what fascism is. General interest. No, it's what I think, what I want to happen. Furthermore, it is alleged that the foundation glorifies Francoism and humiliates the dignity of his victims. The foundation now has 10 days to submit its arguments. Sources within the ministry describe the dissolution process as unprecedented and maintain that it will alleviate the harm done to hundreds of people, victims of Francoism. It should not be forgotten about the foundation as such receives tax benefits. Spaniards should not have to pay for these anti-democratic activities, the government sources stated. I agree. Why the hell did they get money to begin with? This recent step by the executive to extinguish the Francisco Franco Foundation is the last of a long road which began with the Democratic Memory Law of 22, the organic law that regulates the right of association and which, since then, allows the outlawing of entities and foundations that make apologies from Francoism. Hello, we all agree that it was bullshit, and that people died from it. You're not allowed to exist, sorry. Just like if somebody wanted to run their entire government manifesto on, we should just kill each other. That wouldn't be allowed either, okay? So I don't want people screaming, free press, free speech, I thought Europe was supposed to be a free place, blah, 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 blah,
right?
Yeah. As soon as you start giving the people who want to destroy you and kill your entire family free speech, well, you've basically just killed your family. To initiate this investigation, the Ministry of Culture commissioned 2 reports last year from the Registry of Foundations and the State Secretariat for Democratic Memory, SEMD. The latter studied all the context of the Foundation's website. It's approximately 5,500 texts that you can read on their website, dedicated to the exaltation and glorification of the coup d'etat, the dictatorship, and its leaders, as well as the media coverage of the foundation between the 1st of January 2018 and March 25. This content is revealing. For example, there are texts that claim Francoism did not commit genocide, the Second Republic did, that deny the events that occurred during the bombing of Guernica during the Civil War, or assert the stolen children scandal is a lie. There are articles that reek of propaganda using terms like uprising instead of coup d'etat, or crusade instead of civil war. The Secretariat reports also include interviews with victims of the Franco regime, in which it is evident how the Foundation's denial of violence and repression harms them and undermines their right to the truth. The testimonies describe several such situations. For example, one victim encountered a group of those people singing Cara al Sol, the Falangist anthem, in a Granada square, which caused him an episode of physical and psychological distress. One of the accounts reads, "Every time I see any of their activities or statements in the media, my heart sinks. My breath catches and I'm unable to speak. At the moment, the story of my uncle's disappearance comes flooding back to me." Another concludes, "Every time I read a manifesto, a statement signed by this foundation in defense of Francoist values and the dictatorship, I don't feel a physical attack, of course, but it stirs up all the memories I have of my childhood. without my father, his absence due to a cruel and senseless war. The study underscores that the content published by the Foundation discredits victims, denies and minimizes the facts, and presents a biased version of history where Franco did nothing wrong. The analysis of the approximately 5,500 texts published on its website leads to the conclusion that the Foundation aims and actions do not pursue the public interest, as they are incompatible with many of those cited in Article 3.1 of the Foundation's law, the document states. The law states that a cause for dissolution will exist when foundations do not pursue aims of general interest or carry out activities contrary to it. For these purposes, the general interest is considered to be the glorification of Francoism that praises the coup d'etat and the dictatorship or exalts its leaders, with contempt and humiliation of the dignity of the victims. Those guys were losers. They deserve to lose their family and die in the Civil War. Okay, dude, you're banned. Yeah, you're done.
They'd be dead by now anyway, right?
Yeah.
That's always a good one. That's it.
It also doesn't allow direct or indirect incitement to hatred or violence against them because of their status as such. So, you don't like Franco? I'm going to beat you up. The SEMD study also underlines that the aims of promoting and developing education, research, and any other cultural activities provided by the Foundation are in reality instruments to provide an unequivocally positive view of Francoism. Hey, would you like some brainwashing? Free brainwashing! That's what the Franco Foundation does. Sources from the ministry have told this newspaper, El País, that they are studying possible precautionary measures that they will propose to the judge when the case reaches the courts, although they have not specified what those measures are. Another important issue concerns the Foundation's historical archive, which contains some 30,000 documents, 28,000 of which have been already digitized. Some of these belong to head of state, and therefore should be deposited in state-owned archives, and have a great historical and cultural value. For this reason, the ministry has told El País that they are studying how to ensure their public protection. The Francisco Franco Foundation was established in 1976, and its statutes stated that it would be primarily dedicated to disseminating the human and political dimension of Francisco Franco. So, understanding the mind behind the madness that killed people. Promoting and conducting studies on Franco's thinking, on the achievements of the years of his rule, contributing to the projection of his ideology on the future of Spanish life, and exalting his life as a model of virtues placed on the service of the homeland. These statutes have undergone modifications in recent years, the last one in 2017, where the previous article reduces the purpose of the Foundation to disseminate and promote the study and knowledge about the life, thought, legacy, and work of Francisco Franco Bahamonde and his human, military, and political dimension, as well as about the achievements of the years of his mandate as head of the Spanish state, Captain General and Generalissimo of the armies. Basically, they politically corrected it, right? Oh yeah, we're not doing brainwashing and propaganda. We're just historians trying to understand the mind of the madness. But when they look at the actual articles and stuff they write on their website, it is actually just saying everyone should love Franco, everyone should want to be like him. Let's have another civil war. I mean, crusade, right?
Right on.
Let's uprise against the government, huh? Wink,
Fascist
wink.
propaganda.
Yeah, exactly.
Fascist propaganda. Remember the old days where we used to shoot liberals? Hey!
In addition to promoting the study and knowledge of the state that governed the destinies of Spain between the years 1936 and 1977, the organization's annual accounts for 2018 and 22 submitted to the State Protectorate of Foundations shows that, on average, the largest expense between €100,000 and €150,000 are for publishing its newsletter and holding events. This is followed by maintenance of its archives, averaging between €30,000 and €50,000. As for profits from the sale of photocopies, books, DVDs, and merchandise, the average ranges from $44,000 to $9,000. Wow, they've got Franco merch here. Local scumbag merch now. Pablo de Grief, formal UN Special Rapporteur on the promotion of truth, justice, and reparation, and guarantees of non-recurrence, and a current UN High Commissioner for Ukraine, has consistently denounced the Franco Foundation as an anomaly in Europe. Grief, who prepared a report on Spain in 2014, points out that nothing similar exists in any other EU country. He cited examples such as if there was a foundation dedicated to glorifying the lives of dictators like Hitler and Mussolini. Those do not exist. Only Spain, for some reason, had a foundation dedicated to their local fascist murderer. Nor is there any legislation that permits the incitement of hatred. So there's your long story. It was my longest story, but I wanted to talk about it. And how Spain is doing what a lot of countries are too scared to do, right? Oh, they're going to yell free speech. Well, this isn't free speech. We're telling you to go kill people you don't like and, have a coup d'etat against the government, and Franco did nothing wrong. That's complete rewriting of facts, of history, and everything. So that's not just free speech. That's lying. That's lying to people.
It's
giving them a false narrative.
Propaganda. False narrative. Okay, it reminds me of a song, Spanish Bombs by the only band that matters, The Clash. And it's kind of a history, and it is a history lesson because Joe Strummer was an intelligent human being. Mm-hmm. Actually, he was a son of a diplomat, so he grew up in a lot of different countries. And the first verse goes: Spanish songs in Andalusia, the shooting sites in the days of '39. Oh please leave the bandana open. Federico Lorca is dead and gone. Bullet holes in the cemetery walls. The black cars of the Guardia Civil. Spanish bombs on the Costa Rica. I'm flying in on DC-10 tonight. Guardia Civil is the civilian guard, the police, right? And Federico Lorca was a liberal poet who was executed in 1936 for being a liberal. So there's your song. Absolutely 100% applies. Because it's talking about Spanish Civil War, which is when Franco, suppressed all opposition.
Yeah. Just and that's why you always have to be worried when people start saying, "Oh, I'm gonna put the opposition in jail. I'm gonna start killing the opposition," and also saying, right, the opposition, so people with opposite political leanings than you, are a threat to the country, not to the government, to the country, and that's not how that works, right? Having different opinions is important for having a balanced argument, but when one side starts saying the other side of the argument isn't allowed, that's going into totalitarianism.
Federico Garcia Lorca was killed for his left-wing political sympathies and for being homosexual. That's what the biography says. So yes, he was an opponent of the Spanish Civil War. At the start of the Spanish Civil War, he was assassinated by what do we call it? The Guardia Civil. There you go. The Guardia Civil, the civilian police, took care of him.